Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 Random Questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and tonight's guest is former champion Israel Cardona. How you doing, Israel?
I'm doing good.
I appreciate taking time to come on the show.
No problem.
So I'm sure the fans want to know. They probably haven't seen you in a while. I mean, you haven't been in the ring fighting for quite a while. So are you still involved in boxing? What are you doing with the sport?
That's all I do is I'm a coach for the Shadow Boxing Academy in Hartford.
Okay. So you just go down there and you're coaching. Do you got any pros right now? Are you just doing amateurs?
No. This is a nonprofit gym and it's for kids. So I train kids from 10 and 18. You know what I'm saying?
Now, is that like 5 days a week?
Yeah, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So now listen, we were talking off air and
Go ahead.
No, we were talking off air and we've talked a couple times about this, that due to boxing that you actually have a medical condition. Can we talk about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, explain to me exactly what you have and then explain to me what it is so the fans understand.
Well, I think I took too much punches for and right now, I mean, I don't know. I forgot how long I've been disabled, but I am considered disabled now. And it is because of my condition, which is called CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. If you look it up, you can Google whatever CTE and you'll find out the actual stuff. Let's just say this, I got brain damage.
Okay, but now like you explained to me off air, for some people to understand, it's the same condition that Aaron Hernandez, the football player, had, right?
Yes, exactly the same condition. In fact, yep, the fact that right after all that happened in the news, that's all they talked about is Eric Hernandez had CTE and that's why he did what he did, and you know. But let's just say this: I'm not gonna shoot somebody or kill somebody.
Okay, let's hope not.
Yeah.
So you only knock them out, right? You only knock them out.
Yeah. I mean, even though I'm retired and out of shape, yeah, I can still knock somebody out.
Okay. So listen, you ready to get to these random 20 questions?
Sure.
Okay, now I know that before we end the interview and before we finish up the 20 questions, I know that you definitely want to express your opinion on some things having to do with your title shot against Paul Spadafora. And I want to make sure that I give you that opportunity and that respect to talk about that fight, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, so question one. Now, I don't want you to involve the boxing in this first question. I just want fans to understand. Tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit without the boxing.
Okay, well, I was as a kid, I pretty much enjoyed my little when I was young. I was the Boy Scouts when I was a young kid, and saying yes, we all grew up in a different little part of the Hartford called Frog Hollow and stuff like that. And there was a little trouble during that time, but I never really got into trouble. I mean, I did go to jail one time when I was a kid, but besides that, I loved the area, and I became boxing. I became a boxer when I was 15.
Okay, so you lived in a pretty good neighborhood. You had a pretty good upbringing with your family.
Yep. I mean, it wasn't a pretty good neighborhood. At the time, it was a little. Let's just say at the time, it wasn't a good neighborhood. It's a little better now. But yeah, my mother took care of me, and pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Question 2. So, how did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Um, I walked into the gym and I started training, and that's how she wrote.
But I mean, how old were you, and why did you decide to walk into the gym? What was the interest? Why boxing?
Oh, okay. I used to play a lot of sports, so I forgot the name. I have dementia, so I forgot the name of one of my friends, and one of my friends, how you call it, was doing boxing. He was actually one of my teammates was doing boxing, and we gained, and he's like, yo, I joined the boxing gym. He's like, oh, I should try that. So of course I went to the gym and I liked it, and I forget about it. I ended up, I think I only did it for like 6 months or whatever, and I stopped doing it because I was young and ignorant, and I didn't really like the coach, because Coach Callis, the owner of the gym I'm coaching right now, he's my very first coach, Johnny Callis. He's my very first coach. So I actually stopped training with him, and I actually, believe it or not, became a coach myself at at that age. I was like 16, I think.
Okay, so you became a coach. You quit boxing for a while, and then when did you decide to go back to boxing?
When I was about to have a baby at 18 years old, and I realized, oh, I gotta really, I'm gonna have to quit being a coach, because I was a coach for the Hartford Pal in Hartford, and I didn't want to leave that. But I'm like, I'm gonna have a baby, so I gotta get a job. So I figured I gotta quit, and I figured, you know what? Wait a minute. If I turn pro, I'll be making money, so I can still be part of the sport. I love the sport. I still do. So that's why I turned pro. And
Okay.
before you know it, I was on top of the world.
Okay. Question 3. What boxers inspired you in your career?
Um, the only, I know the truth, the only really boxer that I looked up when I was younger is the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
He
Question
was the
4.
only
Who?
one I really
Oh,
looked up to.
okay. Did you? And I'm assuming you've met him, right?
I think I met him once.
Okay. Question 4. Who's the one fighter that you never got to fight in your career?
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Okay. Question 5. What's something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Um, I don't know. I mean, the truth is, I don't know. I mean, like I said, you know, the dementia is really, I forget a lot of things. So, I don't know. The truth is, well, wait, my birthday just passed. I am 49 now, so that's what they don't know, probably.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But oh yeah,
Questions.
wait, one,
Oh,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing, one more thing. I I'm undefeated as an amateur.
Really?
You want to
So
know?
what?
You know?
Do
You
you
want to know
remember what
how?
you? Yeah.
My record is 2-0 as an amateur.
You only had 2 amateur fights.
Yeah, I'm so I got the best undefeated record, 2-0. So maybe
I did
maybe
not
they
know
don't.
that you only had 2 amateur fights.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that's
was
impressive.
I was a coach. Listen. I used to be a Cub Scout master. I love when I was growing up. I loved helping the kids out. So I had my own Cub Scout group. I even when I was on top of the world, I even had the Cub Scouts on TV. There was I forgot which fight I did where the Cub Scouts was on TV with me. They walked me to the ring.
That's
It was
pretty
on
cool.
Yeah, it was on Tuesday Night Fights. I even did a skit where I actually interrupted the interview with one of the announcers. I think it was Al Bernstein or one of the guys from Tuesday Night Fights, where I actually made him an honorary Cub Scout.
Okay.
It's on Tuesday Night Fights. I just don't remember who I fought.
Okay. Question 6. What's the craziest or the funniest story that ever happened between you and a boxing fan?
A boxing fan. The truth, I don't know, because I mean I had a lot of fans that pretty much always I when I have fans, they always pay more attention to me. And there was fans that would I had fans that follow me all around. I just don't
But
have an actual story.
so you don't remember, just nothing comes right to your mind, an interaction
No,
between you and a
no,
boxing fan?
I no man. I mean, the only thing I remember about boxing fans, I never had stalkers. I mean, if that's what you mean.
No, no, not like necessarily like that. Just a story between you and a fan.
I mean, dude, I got the Metro Man. You, I mean, you like I said, I forgot about this interview again, even though we talked yesterday.
Okay. Question 7. What's something that you're very passionate about besides boxing?
Um, my family,
Okay.
my family. I mean, my kids. I got kids. I mean, I got two little ones. My wife. I mean, I mean, I'm trying to. I'm I'm disabled and I can't do much anymore, and I do forget a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that there's a very little thing that I can do nowadays. So
But you're coaching though.
yeah, and that's the only thing I can do.
But at least it's something you love doing.
Yes, yes.
All right. Question 8. Why did you box?
Like I said, when I was 15 years old, one of my friends started boxing, and I said, "Oh, we were playing football." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me try it. Let me try it out," and I did. And like I said, before you know it, I was actually coaching, and that was it. That's why, of course, when I my son who's pretty much I think see I think he's like a paramedic, something like that. I mean, my son, my oldest son, who made he made me a grandpa. Um, so I just turned pro because he was born, and I gotta make money.
Okay. All right. Question 9. If you could gift one person $1 million, who would you give it to?
Myself, no, sir, but the truth, I don't know. I mean, that's that's kind of like a tough question because if I got $1 million right now, I'm gonna take care of my family.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody handed you $1 million and said, "I'm giving you the opportunity to give all this money to one person," what one person would you give it to?
One person. Let me see. Um, I would give it to my gym.
Okay.
We have I don't know. right? I lost count. We got like 40, 50 kids. This is a nonprofit gym. You know, it's funded by volunteer people. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yep.
All right. Question 10. If you had the ability to cure one disease, what disease would you choose to cure?
CTE.
Okay. Question 11. Who was your favorite opponent that you fought in your career?
Oh, okay. Wait. Oh my God. What you mean, like favorite? Like I?
Just like you had a good time fighting him, that he gave you a good fight, that you guys respected each other, that it was a fun fight, that when you think about your career, that's like one of the funnest fights you were involved in.
Well, I'll tell you this. Uh,
I can't really hear you now. You're blocking your mic.
oh, what? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Um, you know what? I'm gonna say Golden Johnson. I think that's the name. Yeah. Golden Johnson. Can you believe it or not? Was it Golden Johnson? I'm not even sure. I got the meant to remember that. But if I'm right, he he actually after the fight, I think he cut. I got cut or whatever, and he actually was cool, and he ended up he hanged out with my father and my family while I was in the hospital getting stitched up.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, like I said, we fought. I defended my title, and we became cool, real cool. I mean,
Okay.
that's the only one.
So obviously Paul Spadafora was not your favorite opponent.
Oh hell no,
So
hell no.
let's talk about that real quick. How you feel about that fight?
Well, um, let's just say this: every time we fight for a world title, and probably for the USBA or NABF title, big titles like that, they always have you get tested for drug tests. Like they want to make sure you're not taking illegal stuff. And that fight, beside even though I have dementia and everything that I have more than just dementia. I don't forget that fight. I don't forget that I did not get checked. So if I didn't get checked, I'm sure he didn't get checked. So you put two and two together.
Yeah, but you're saying just because you two didn't take urine tests for that fight, what exactly are you saying? Do you believe Spadafora was on drugs for that title fight?
Probably. I mean, he got tested in different fights where they ended up failing. So you
But now
tell
you
me.
now you told me off air though that is the best performance you've ever seen of Spadafora was against you. Is
Yes,
that correct?
yes, that's the only one.
So that's going to stick with you forever because
Oh yeah,
you don't believe Spadafora beat you fairly.
yep. And the IBF, we've they my ex manager John Sapola sued the IBF for that, and no one's ever told me the results of that because they're supposed to test all the fighters when you could fight for a title, you get tested. I didn't get tested, and I will never forget that night.
Okay. So have you and Paul Spadafora talked at all since that fight? Does he know how you feel about this?
No, I'm sure he does. I mean, I'm sure he does. I mean, you know, like I said, if he beat me and I know that, and I did the drug test and then, he beat me. Hey, good for him. You know what I'm saying? He beat me. That's okay. I mean, that's part of the game. Like my first loss, um, I forgot his name. I think he died. I forgot he's a Mexican. I think he died, whatever. But you know what? I got beat. I peed blood that day. Hey, he beat me. I got no complaints about that. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, in the fight with you and Spadafora, you agree though that's the best performance you ever seen of him. So I mean, you're saying that he actually beat you skill wise in the
Oh
ring
no,
that
no,
night.
no. He beat me. No, he beat me that day. I cannot touch him. In other words, no, he was like I said. And I fought lefties before, and of course, we planned to fight a lefty. We trained. We hired lefties. We actually went to Las Vegas to train. We hired lefties to get used to the lefty style. We were ready for lefty style, and like I said, he fought. He fought different. I mean, that's the best performance he's ever had.
And you still don't believe it's just because it was for a world title and he knew he was from the streets and that he was just coming to win a world title. You think he was on drugs?
He was on something. Like you said, I was from the streets. Me and him got the same thing. I'm from the streets too. I'm from Hartford.
But I mean, you just don't think that he could have been hungrier that night for the world title?
Hungrier than me? Are you crazy? What? Why would anybody think that he would be hungrier than me? That was a world title.
Well, I know, but both of you guys were going up for the same vacant title. So I mean, both of you guys are going to try your hardest and try to put on the best
Yes,
performance you can.
yes. I was supposed to fight Shane Mosley a bunch of times, but they never took the fight.
And now, and then Mosley moved up in weight, and Spadafora didn't get a fight with him either.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it happens. All this happens. But there's one thing about boxing. Even though it's been a long time that happened, boxing won't change. There's gonna always be crooks around. So trust me, I don't know what's going on with the sport. I don't know if it can be done fixed better, but there's still a lot of snakes in the sport. So I don't know if it's gonna ever change.
Okay.
That might happen again.
All right. Well, let's get back to the random 20 questions. Question 12. Who was the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
Okay. And the fight was actually, another Mexican. Another Mexican that dropped me to the body. And that's probably it.
But well, who was his name though?
Wow. Um, Give me a second. I'm gonna have to move and plug my phone in before it dies. Give me a second.
Do you remember the fighter's name?
Oh my God. You know what? I don't.
No, that's all right. It's not a big deal.
I don't. I really don't. I mean, I. You know what? I was winning that fight. It was actually. It was my first fight after I lost to Spotter 4.
Okay.
And how you call it? I don't know this. Okay, here we go. I don't know. And it was a Mexican, and of course I won the first 5, 6 rounds. I beat them down so much that they almost stopped the fight. I was in the corner. I remember being sitting down in the corner, and my man, my trainer was talking to me, giving me instructions, and I'm over here praying in my mind, please stop the fight again for him because I was dead. I threw everything the first 5 rounds or 6, I tried to beat him down with everything I had, and that Mexican did not go down. But I won all those rounds, and then after that, he started getting stronger, and I'm weaker now. And by the I think it was like the 10th or 11th round, he drops me with a body, and that was it. All she wrote. There's no way I can get up.
Okay.
And I was winning that fight.
It happens, though. Mickey Ward's done it tons of times. He'll be losing
Yeah,
the whole fight and he drops a guy with a body shot.
I was winning that fight, and he did. Of course, he ended up getting stopped real fast, like in 2 rounds, in his next fight
Okay.
by a boxer that was not a puncher like me. I'm like, what the hell?
All right. Well, listen. Question 13. What's one of your best boxing memories from your career?
Ivan Robinson.
So you fighting Ivan Robinson?
Yep, Ivan Robinson, and obviously, training camp when I went to training camp and all that. I mean, it was all good. I mean, I used to, pretty much and I used to, like I said, go into fights, and I headlined maybe 4 or 5 fights at Spotswoods. You know what I'm saying? Like I headlined for Tuesday night fights. I wish they still had that show.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. Question 14. What's something that you're absolutely afraid of?
The truth? I, you know what? The only thing I'm afraid of is the truth right now is, losing my mother, losing my wife. Like, we're not in good health, and I actually prefer to go before I lose my mother or my wife. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much I'm afraid of. You know, I know we are gonna die sometime, so I'm not afraid of death. Let's just say that.
Okay. All right. Question 15. If you could be any animal for one day, what animal would you want to be?
For one day, a lion.
Okay. All right. Question 16. Are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm both, but Harley, you're gonna see my animal right here.
Okay.
Listen, this is an animal that I can't leave without her crying for me.
Okay. All right. Question 17. Who is someone in your life that has inspired you outside of the sport of boxing?
I'm on the on podcast. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think right now. The truth is, I don't have. I do, I do look up to, John Callis, and I do, my my first professional trainer, who passed away, Jimbo Espaduli.
Okay.
He was a great coach, and I mean, like I said, he unfortunately I lost him years ago, and but he was a true, not just coach, but he was like you said this, he was the bomb. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was good.
All right. Question 18. Do you have any boxing superstitions?
No,
No. You never had any when you were fighting?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay. All right. Question 19. What's the best dish you can cook?
no, man, I don't cook. My wife is the chef. I mean, the most like,
Even your wife in the background's laughing, so that's not
yeah.
good.
Sorry. Boiled eggs.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I make a good boiled eggs. But eggs.
All right, question 20. If you could be a current boxer right now, if you could jump into their life and be a current boxer right now, and for one fight, what boxer would you want to be?
Wow. Pacquiao.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time, man, to come on and do the 20 random questions. I'm glad that I got you on. You sound like you had fun doing them. I love some of your answers and your stories. It was fun. So if you got anything to say to your fans before we close, man, go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you got me on the show, and I'm all the fans out there that still remember me. Hey, I'm still alive. I mean, and CTE ain't gonna kill me yet.
All right. And with that, the truth has spoken.
Thank you.